everybody, welcome back to the Arsenal Fan Reviews channel, and I'm here today joined by the Loco Leeds United football channel. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me, Tom. It's a pleasure to come on your wonderful channel.
No problem, thank you very much. And of course, you are a Leeds fan, so we will be discussing the upcoming game, which is happening tomorrow, Valentine's Day, Arsenal against Leeds United. So let's get into the first question, and that is, what have you made of Leeds so far this season? It's been up and down for them.
Tom, it's been a cracking season for Leeds United. You know, we never thought that coming back from the Championship, it took us 16 years to come back from the Championship and to attack the Premier League the way we have, you know, from a footballing point of view. It's all credit to Marcelo Bielsa and the Leeds United team. I think we're a breath of fresh air in the Premier League. Everybody's second team, I can say. A lot of people are enjoying the way we go about playing our football. And long may it continue, and hopefully on Sunday we may get a positive result against the mighty Gunners.
Yeah, I mean, Bielsa, what a fabulous coach. I mean, he's mostly known for sitting there on his stool, but he's amazing. I would have loved him at Arsenal, but you managed to get him, and congratulations for that, because he really has proved up to that kind of legacy he's got, hasn't he? Took you up from the Championship, and yeah, I mean, like Aston Villa last season when they got promoted, I thought you'd kind of be in that, not relegation zone, but bottom 5 or so. But no, you've really gone full out, very attacking, and you're doing super well. But looking at the other team, what have you made of Arsenal this season?
Arsenal, I'm one of them people that I actually think that you guys are going through a transition period. If we look at it with Marcelo Bielsa, it's taken us 3 years to get to what you're seeing at this precise moment. So behind the scenes, he's done a lot with Leeds United. You know, from the training ground, from the way the club's run, especially from top to bottom. You know, our board is really, they're really progressive with Ellen Road and everything. You know, so I think with Arteta, you've got to give him a little bit of time. You've got a bit of a split fan base, what I'm looking as an outside fan. And because I've got a lot of Arsenal fans on my own YouTube channel. And, I can feel your frustration. I know you want instant success. With the team on paper, the likes of Aubameyang, Lacazette, Saka, some really good names, David Luiz, fantastic, international Brazilian player. And you deserve more, but what you deserve in football and what you get is another thing. So I just hope that it works out for you. Not on Sunday, because obviously we're playing each other, but maybe give Arteta a bit of time and then reevaluate your club's progress in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. And like you said, lots of people Arteta out, lots of Arteta in. I was always kind of against the idea of Arteta coming in. I mean, very underexperienced, was Pep's cone boy, as lots of people like to call him. But apart from a few mistakes, and he makes them, he's human, he's learning along the way, I think he's been pretty good. Coming in, he's won an FA Cup Community Shield in his first 6 months. And if we give him a couple transfer windows, then I think we should be okay with him for the next couple of years at least. I mean, he's definitely got a type of pool. Lots of players, Partey, Gabriel, have all signed. Saka, Martinelli extended contracts for him. But like you said, I mean, Leeds have got a very good board, whereas Arsenal, of course, they're over in America. They own multiple teams. They own their own sports brand, Kroenkes. It's not good. It's a shame we've got them. Otherwise, we could still be right at the very top like we were 20-odd years ago. But, of course, Arsenal and Leeds United do both have quite some good players in their teams. But let's look at two in particular. Of course, on the left there is Bukayo Saka. On the right is Rafinha. What have you made of them both this season? I mean, it's kind of been a breakthrough season kind of for both of them. Brilliant footballers.
Absolutely. I watched your game against Aston Villa last week, and the amount of fouling that was going on young Saka was just incredible. I mean, I thought that was the only way they could stop him, Aston Villa, and, to chop him down. I'm not a big fan of football like that. It's not the Marcelo Bielsa way, and I think he's broke through really well for yourselves. I think he's one of the danger men that you guys have got in your team. He's got electric pace, and he's he's got all the potential to become a very good England international. And Rafinha, on the other hand, we bought him from a team in France called Rennes for 17 million quid, and he's just taken to the Premier League like a duck takes to water. He's so agile. He's so quick. He's very nimble on his feet. He's got skills that that I've only seen Diego Maradona or Lionel Messi do. I don't know whether you saw the game against Leeds, Crystal Palace, the nutmeg that he done on Gary Cahill.
That was brilliant. That was fabulous.
Yeah. So I've never seen that from a Leeds player in the last 20 odd years. I'll tell you that now. So I think he's adjusted really well. But again, it comes down to the system we play, the coaching that we've got instilled within our boys, and everybody knows their job. They know where to run. They know their positions. And it's just a well-oiled machine at this precise moment. I mean, it worked a treat against Crystal Palace.
Well, yeah, I mean, Bukayo Saka's really come through this season. I mean, he's probably been our best player so far, despite that 7-8 game run where we weren't even picking up a single point sometimes. He was still doing so well, and now we're finally starting to build around him with other youngsters, Smith Rowe, of course, experienced such as Thomas Partey, who will be missing this game, unfortunately. He really has done well, and Rafinha, as you said, that nutmeg, that was outrageous. That was brilliant. I mean, Gary Cahill, wow. But let's talk about some injuries. So, as I said, Partey will be missing this game, along with Kieran Tierney. So how much of a loss do you think this is to us? As of course, they have been outstanding this season so far. And also, do Leeds have any players coming back from injury or out with an injury?
Okay, well, I'll touch upon the two players that you've just put up on the screen. And Thomas Partey, he's an exceptional player. But Kieran Tierney is a massive miss at the back because he's a solid left back. I mean, when I've seen him play, and especially when he played in the first game, he was a tricky customer, as in for our strikers to get past him and our attacking play. He's a strong player, so he's going to be a massive miss for you guys. Partey in the middle, good player and strong player, and I think him and Xhaka are a formidable team, and I think you play better with Partey in there with Xhaka. But I'm not an Arsenal fan, so I don't know. I could be wrong. But just from the looks of it, from what I've seen, the couple of games that I have seen him play, he's a very strong player, got a good engine in the midfield. So, players like that are always going to be a big miss for any team. For Leeds, we have got some long-term injuries. We've not had a settled back four all season. Robin Koch and Diego Llorente, I mean, he's just not really started his Leeds career because he's been forced with injury. Robin Koch's been out long term. He's back in March, so he's definitely out. But the major doubt and the major worry for us Leeds fans is the fitness of Calvin Phillips. I don't know whether you're familiar with Calvin Phillips, but he's a player that is very important to our Leeds system. So if he's out, it's going to be difficult to see who can come in and replace him. We have got replacements. We've got a guy called Stuart Dallas. He can play everything apart from goalkeeper, so he's a very good utility man.
Yeah, I mean, all of these players will be huge misses to both of the teams. You did say there about Kieran Tierney. He was so good against Leeds last time out, and I mean, it's a shame he's so injury prone, honestly, because he's done so well. I mean, one of those players who have been brilliant this season, as I said, but he's been out for the past 6-7 games now, and it's not looking good. Hopefully he is back for our Europa League game against Benfica next week or the week after. But having to watch right back at left back and then having to play Bellerin in that right back position, it's been huge for us, because also Tierney kind of carries our left side. I mean, he's so creative and defensive, something most of those on the right can't do. So hopefully we can sign a backup left back in the summer. But let's take a look at the last time Leeds and Arsenal met. And that, of course, was a 0-0 stalemate. And it was smack in the middle of our bad run of form. And, of course, Pepe, you can see there, did get that red card. So how much do you think has changed since then?
Well, I think, if we look at Arsenal's form, you've dipped in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Prior to that, you guys were on a tremendous run, and I did watch, like I said, the Aston Villa game, which I thought you guys could have won or at least got a point. The one against Wolverhampton Wanderers, where VAR went against you guys. I mean, that was just some horrific decisions, but that's what you're going to get in football in the modern day game with VAR. You're going to win some and you're going to lose some. But when we played you on that day at Elland Road, it was a game that we had about 27 shots, and you guys were lucky to come out from Elland Road with a point. And I remember Rodrigo hitting the bar, and we really genuinely played really well against yourselves. But the name of the game is to take the chances, and Leeds didn't, and you guys took the point. But that was when you guys were in a bad run of form. So we seem to meet you when you're in a bad run of form. On Sunday, we're going to see you guys again, and you're on a bit of a bad run. So it's going to be an interesting game. It should be a good game because both teams like to have the ball, and Arteta does keep the ball well, and that's half of the battle done, really. And with Bielsa, he actually says that Arsenal play with an identity. So that's high praise coming from a coach like Marcelo Bielsa. So he does like Mikel Arteta, and that's why I seem to agree with Bielsa that Arteta, there is something there. There is something there, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, you said about the 27 shots. So I believe Leno was on hand of the match that game as well. But we definitely have got a lot more creative since then and more confident for sure. We are, like you said, really good at holding on to the ball. And, of course, touching on that Pepe red card again in that game, he has really turned his Arsenal career around. I'm not going to say he's worth that £72 million price tag just yet, but Arteta's worked on him and he really is looking good. And there was a quote coming out the other day that apparently Alioski did say to Bamford, I believe it was, "I'm going to be seeing my mate Pepe again," which was really, really funny. So what did you actually make of that quote? Well, it's a bit of a rivalry, isn't it now?
Well, I think it's all tongue-in-cheek, really. With Alioski, he is one of them kind of players that he just winds people up. He's great to have on your team, but he's audible to play against, I think. But I mean, I love Alioski. I think he's great. And just touching upon the Pepe sending off, that's another thing you can't really predict the game from last game because he got sent off in the 53rd minute, I think. And so you guys were playing in the second half with 10 men. So it's always hard to sort of look at that game and then predict this game on that particular match. And so I think with Pepe and Alioski, it's going to be interesting to see. But look, you guys, Pepe, Aubameyang, Lacazette, Xhaka, these players are top elite footballers, and I get scared at looking at your team sheet. I was scared in the first game, and I'm scared in the second game here as well. So my respect to Arsenal, and your team doesn't become bad overnight. You've got some really quality players, like you said. Pepe has done really well since that game against Leeds, so he has improved. So there is improvement. Like I said, it's a year of transition. And maybe in the summer you might see some of your favourites leaving the club, and there might be some players that Mikel Arteta brings in.
Yeah, I mean, about the red card as well, it is something we haven't really improved on. Since then, we still have got quite a few, of course, 2 against Wolves, unfortunately. So that is something we do really need to improve on. But let's look at some lineups. So my predicted lineup for this game is the usual 4-1 kind of 4 this time, 1 again. So I'd go with Leno and guard, bring him back into the side. A back 4 of Bellerin, Holding, Gabriel and Cedric. Partey will be out, of course. This was made before that. So I'd probably swap him out for Xhaka. And then a 2 of Odegaard and Smith Rowe. Odegaard looked brilliant when he came against Aston Villa for the last half an hour or so. Saka and Pepe, you can't really drop them at the moment. And I'd love to see Martinelli start as a striker. So what do you think of that? And also, do you have a rough starting 11 for Leeds, or is there anyone you want to see feature?
Well, I'll give you my team lineup, but your team lineup. It's surprising that you haven't picked Aubameyang and Lacazette.
Yeah, they haven't. I mean, Aubameyang, he's just really dropped off form at the moment. He was getting back there, and then of course he had that bit where his mum had an illness and he had to go. So he does have to kind of fight his way back into the team. And Lacazette, he just didn't look himself last game. And Martinelli is such a really hungry youngster. I mean, he wants to score goals, and yeah, I'd love to see him play as a striker.
Well, if Arteta picks your team, then I think we'll be happy to play you guys, because the names just scare us. You know, Aubameyang and Lacazette. Aubameyang can just turn on an instant, can't he? I've got some of your lads in the fantasy team, so I do tend to look at the fantasy team points, and you do tend to pick me up a few points here and there. But I have transferred some of your lads out as well this week. But coming back to the Leeds team selection, we'll probably go with, now this is depending on, it all hinges on Calvin Phillips actually starting the match. So if we look at it, if Calvin Phillips plays in the CDM position, it'll be an unchanged side from the Crystal Palace game. If he doesn't, then what we'll do is we'll probably bring Luke Ayling into our centre-half position, and then we'll have a young lad called Jamie Shackleton who may start at the right-back position, and then we'll move Pascal Strike, who plays in centre defence, into the Calvin Phillips role of CDM. So, and then we'll have Stuart Dallas, Matthias Klick in the midfield, and then on the left-hand side it'll be Jack Harrison, on the right-hand side Rafinha, Patrick Bamford in the striking position. Obviously, our goalkeeper will be Meslier.
Awesome. So let's go on to the final question of the day. The big question. Let's get a drummer up for it. What is your score prediction?
I'm going to be sitting on the fence because Leeds United have a record in London, playing in London. We struggle for some reason in the capital city. So anytime we've played, we've always ended up with a negative result. So keeping that in mind, considering you're on a bit of a bad run, we've won 3 out of the last 4, and I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. I've said this in my pre-match video as well, and I just think because both teams, it's like a mid-table encounter. We're 10th, you're 11th. You've lost 10 games. We've lost 10 games. We've won 10 games. So, and we've drawn 2. And one of the games that out of those 2 that we've drawn 2 is yourself. So I just think we're going to cancel each other out. I think it'll still be a good game to watch because both teams play attractive football and can keep the ball well. But I do believe it'll be a 1-1, and I'll be happy with that. If by chance we get the early goal, we get the first goal, and we steal a victory, I'll take that as well. But 1-1 from me. Yeah,
I'm going to go with a draw as well. I'm going to say 2-2. Both teams really attacking at the moment. Defence is not really leaky, but sometimes mistakes can be made, as you saw. It was a Cedric Suarez mistake that was made for Villa to take that early lead against us. And, of course, for the remaining 88 minutes of the game, we couldn't score and get an equaliser. But I think, 2-2, it wouldn't be brilliant for Arsenal, but we will have to take it. We got City coming up in the league after it, a really tough run. We got all the Europa League games as well, which we really have to focus on because that's our only route really into Europe now. But that about wraps it up. So thank you everybody so much for watching. Thanks for coming on the channel.
No problems. Thank you for having me. It's it's a really, really good job that you're doing, buddy. And keep it up. And let's just see what happens in the game tomorrow.
Thank you very much. And of course, there will be a link down below in the description to the channel. So make sure to go and subscribe. And also to this channel, make sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.